Welcome, attendees. Please welcome to the stage your panelist for the session, The Intelligent Store, How DM and Vusion Are Shaping the Future of Retail.
Good morning, everybody. You can see we've filled in the room. Any seats that are empty will be filled by AI guests later, so don't worry. Why are we here today? Last couple of years, we've heard a lot about AI in retail, and practically, every session you're going to attend here is going to say AI at some point. But often it's about like a lab or a pilot or just a PowerPoint slide. I think what makes this different is the ability to see it in store every day, every store, all operations. And so want to spend some time today talking about how Vusion and DM have worked together to take what could be just a lab idea and actually roll it out in a concrete way. So with that in mind, we're talking a lot about the intelligent store, right? What do we mean when we say the intelligent store? We mean everything is visible, everything is measurable, but more importantly, it's sort of continuously improvable on an ongoing basis. So with that in mind, I am going to work today with Jenny and Christian and from DM and Alex from Vusion to go walk through three things. One, why did this matter at all? Like, why did we even start on this journey? Two, how does EdgeSense work and like what's coming next? And three, like what's the future of AI going to be in store operations more generally? So with that, Jenny and Christian, you want to introduce yourself quickly, and then Alex will give an intro on Vusion.
Yeah, hi everybody, I'm Jenny. I'm from dmTECH, and I'm excited to be here today. I'm a director of Instore Logistics, and also I'm responsible for the supply chain optimization and logistics network optimization. And I'm gonna talk a bit about the tech part today. And well, I'm with DM for 20 years this year. Couldn't be. Woo. And so I have a lot of stories to tell, and with that I hand over to Christian.
Thank you. Warm welcome also from my side. My name is Christian. I'm also director for Instore Logistics, but on the business side, working closely together with Jenny. And besides that, I'm responsible for the e-commerce business of DM. And I'm really looking forward to give you insights on our work.
And yeah, hello, my name is Andreas Rößl, Chief Technology Officer of Vusion. But first of all, I want to thank Aaron for hosting us and also the team of DM to be here on stage with Vusion. This partnership is very special. It's not only about deploying technologies in stores, but it's also about creating a partnership and really creating a better working environment for the people in the stores. And that's, makes me very happy. And yeah, I want to tell you a few words about Vusion. So Vusion is a retail tech company. We are headquartered in Paris. We're a stock-listed company. We're quite big in the US in the meantime, which is more or less our second headquarter already. We have 1,200 people working for us. About 30% is in R&D and research and development, which is my team. And yeah, we serve proudly a lot of customers around the world, such as Walmart, Lidl, for example, DM also, Asta, the Fresh Market, and Course US, just to name a few. But in total, we are serving around about 60,000 stores worldwide. And yeah, our mission is we are combining Internet of Things, so IoT devices, data and AI together to help retailers build connected and AI-native stores. And this mission is centered around 4 key pillars, which is high-precision operations. So we help retailers to datafy the store, to really bring technology into the store for picking stock to light, for pricing automation, for CV technologies which can sense the shelf in order to make the stores more automated, more optimized, and also to reduce cost, of course. The second pillar is omnichannel. So omnichannel, we know, is a big topic. It's growing, but it's still, especially in grocery, it's still a cost issue for retailers. So we want to help retailers to build micro-fulfillment centers out of their physical assets. The third pillar is retail media. So we know the traffic in stores is very huge, but still the money, the dollars are still spent somewhere else. They're spent on online marketing more than in physical stores. And so there is still a lot to do in this environment. So we help with our devices to make the paper-based retail media processes more digitized. We also have transformed our whole backend technology with Bluetooth Low Energy in a way that we can sense shoppers in the store and really deliver coupons in shelves right at the moment of purchase. And and the fourth pillar is AI, of course. For us, we believe that AI is not only going to change retail, it's going to change a lot of other areas and industries as well. But we know that it's going to be a key differentiator. AI has the potential to change completely the way how shoppers behave in stores. Every store will be more localized, more personalized. And I mean, everyone I think has seen the announcement of Walmart with the partnership of OpenAI, and the stock price of Walmart went up by a few billions immediately. And why? Because everyone or people know that the winner in retail in 2030 will be the ones who start working on AI today. And so this is also our belief. And so that's it.
Yeah, let me also introduce DM quickly. So DM is the leading drugstore in Germany, operating in 14 European countries with a turnover of 20 billion euros as a group in Europe. And it's well known for a streamlined and focused assortment based on everyday needs. And I guess what's very special about DM is that it's not only a retailer, a normal retailer, because it's also well known for a very special culture that is very human focused and also customer focused. And with 2,000 stores in Germany, you see we are present in nearly every community in Germany, and people don't only like to buy stuff at DM, they like being at DM, and they also can connect with the values of DM. So it's a very beloved part of everyday's life in Germany. I also brought some impressions of a store that you get a feeling. So here you see a typical DM store, so obviously it's a bit smaller than US stores, but I think it has a very premium look for low prices. We offer. And the stores of DM are really the heart of DM, even within our omnichannel retailer strategy, because, it's a very big advantage to be so close to the customer, and it's a really opportunity to compete with online pure players. And that is why we invest a lot in the technologies of our stores, and that's something where I hand over to Jenny to give you some insights.
Yeah. Thank you, Christian. Well, being the leading drugstore in Europe is always hard work. We want to sit in the very edge of our chairs using technology, and in the video you see some basic stuff of our technology ecosystem. So I will give you just some insights. For example, we equipped our employees in the stores 10 years ago with smartphones. So our employees has their office in the pocket, and 10 years ago this was pretty new. And the second masterpiece we have in our ecosystem is that we have a strong AI platform. We were one of the first retailers that had their own GPT system. It was during a time when other companies were leaked by using information in public GPT systems. And the third thing is that as Christian is responsible for e-commerce and Instore Logistics, in e-commerce we are very happy. We have all the data. We can analyze everything we want to. But in our stores, it's difficult. And that's why here you just see the Ubica robot on the video. We started an R&D project many years ago in combination with the University of Bremen and Neapel. And there the spin-off Ubica came out, and together we built a digital twin. And so we have a lot of data from our stores now, and we are very proud that we are having the largest fleet of in-store robots on Earth, I guess. If anyone else has more than 250, please come to me. I want to talk to you. And so we are very excited, especially that AI is so amazing at the moment. And I don't have to tell you that if you have to say AI, you have to say data first. And we have the data, and that's why we can do a lot of fancy stuff. And we want to tell you today how EdgeSense enriches our ecosystem and how we will leverage the next level with it.
Awesome. It's funny, like when people talk about digital transformation, often they're talking about omni-channel, they're talking about e-commerce, they're talking about loyalty apps. But you talk to a store operator or a stores team, their world is still very physical, right? It's, out of stocks. It's changing prices on the shelf, it's mispriced items, right? And in some sense, your digital transformation is much more in that vein than sort of maybe a traditional omni-channel. So Christian, historically, DM is known as being, let me put it, I guess, sort of very thoughtful and measured about technology investments. What was the epiphany moment that you said, gosh, we really need to change store operations with technology?
Well, pretty much it's in the DNA of DM. As you said, it was always a very innovative company, being at least fast follower or even first mover. Actually, we were the first retailers rolling out computer mouses in the early 90s. That was very special back then. I barely remember with 33 years old. And as Jenny said, the Ubica robot was a result of an R&D project we initiated. And so I guess it's kind of following history right now, building up the next evolution. And maybe one special moment was 15 years ago, because we were one of the first retailers who built a team specifically for in-store logistic processes. And we recognized that back then that nearly 50% of logistic costs are caused within the stores. And that's pretty much. And it's a very manual process environment, not standardized. And even literature focused very much on supply chain optimization in intralogistics, but not on in-store operations. So yeah, now we follow this history and get it done.
So Jenny, back to you, like a lot of retailers associate the idea of digitizing the shelf with the idea of constant price changes or being like a aggressively high-low retailer that changes prices all the time. That's not really what DM is. Given that, like, why was this sort of a hot topic for you?
Yeah, well, the luck for our customers, but what's hard for us is when you are to DM, we guarantee you that you have the same price for 4 months. So price changing, which is the normal business case for ESL, is not the case for us. So many years ago, we found out, okay, electronic shelf label is more about in-store processes for us, like using the flashing technology to optimize the digitalization and to get a better efficiency in the stores and to enrich the customer experience. And so for us, ESL was ever more than prices. Of course, we changed the prices with it too. It would be dumb not to do it. But yeah, so we focus on that. And this is what makes it so special for us. And so we had some problems. And the second part is, as I mentioned, we have a digital twin with all that data, but you need to see the data. And so we have, on the one hand, we have the smartphones that have our employees, but on the other hand, we can use the electronic shelf label as a gateway to see the digital twin. So you can give information for the associates to see, for example, stock information or little hints about things that are not correct on the shelf. And also for our customers to enrich their experience, that they can see what's the next best article, for example, if an article is out of stock or something like that. So we really see our real-time supply chain information and digital twin information on the ESL. And that's what makes it so interesting for us. And now AI makes it even more interesting, so I don't have to tell it. Yeah.
So, if we think about like most technology, right? Like it can look really compelling in a pilot. You roll it out in a couple of stores, it goes really well, everybody's excited. But for whatever reason, a lot of times those things don't scale. And so I guess the question for you is, what made this hard when scaling and what was maybe harder than you thought and what was easier than you thought, or what turned out better than you expected?
Yeah. Okay. First of all, I have to add that we had one constraint to not scale at all, because the common electronic shelf labels have like a button cell battery, you all know that. And for us, the limitation was that the lifespan was so short, so our business case was not green at all. So we found use cases we want to use with ESL, because pricing was not the case, but the technique was not possible. So, and we were like over the moon when I met Andy and found out that there is a new technology where we have the rail and now have no limitations in the battery anymore. And so that was very interesting for us because there was no constraint of the battery anymore. And then it was like a new technique we brought. And of course, there are some tiny problems. As Christian mentioned, DM is a very beloved store, and it looks pretty nice. You just saw it on the video. But we have some special, let me say, interior requirements, like special color codes. And so the production, it was not that easy to bring it in the special color code for us and do stuff like that. So I did not expect that we have to discuss a lot about colors. So maybe Andy not too. And but there were a lot that we didn't expect. And so, for example, we did some rollouts with the bottom cell batteries, knowing that we cannot scale it, but we want to invent a use case and not waste time in waiting for technology change. And we had a 10 store with the old technique, and then we started rolling out the new ones with the rail. And yeah, the stores called me and the market leaders called me like, Jenny, can we please change the technology? The new one is so much better. We don't want the old one. And we found a solution to hear their asks. So now every store at DM has the new rail technology of EdgeSense. And that makes it so interesting because now we have an intelligent shelf and not even just ESL.
So Andy, let's unpack that. Basically, Jenny just gave you the layup of the day of, EdgeSense being better. Like, what is the difference between EdgeSense and other forms of ESL technology?
Yeah, first of all, EdgeSense, it's not an electronic shelf level system at all. It's more a smart store infrastructure or a digital shelf platform to make every shelf edge a connected shelf edge. And in a traditional ESL system, is the main feature and the main use case is pricing automation. And EdgeSense can do that as well, even way more efficient, as Jenny mentioned. For example, in each EdgeSense rail, we have mutualized the radio and the battery into one single unit. And so in order to get rid of millions of coin cells batteries of all those ESLs, but at the same time, that makes this whole thing way more efficient. And power efficient, and so we can have more budget, more capacity to provide additional use cases. For example, with an EdgeSense system, we can do more stock to light, pick to light activities to turn the stores really in micro fulfillment centers. We can sense shoppers or store associates in the aisle, which is also a topic to work with higher precision and also a key topic for retail media use cases. We leverage computer vision at the shelf with this EdgeSense rail, improve the AI accuracy of computer vision technologies. We connect it to robots and give more context to the whole environment inside the store. We do planogram compliance, so EdgeSense is a real interesting tool to improve the planogram compliance. And it's also a foundation layer to give more context to AI models and to improve the AI reasoning. So when we talk about an AI native store, we think about stores which can actually sense what's happening, understand instantly and act immediately. And I think that's the whole background. And it really transforms the operations. It improves the day-to-day business, and not only on dashboards or on reports. I mean, retailers have dashboards, nice, colorful dashboards since many years. But what's really different with EdgeSense now, we send people in the store create tasks which actually really matter in the store operations in every day. So
that's awesome. Well, so Jenny, back to you. Like, whenever you're deploying technology, sort of the technical function and capability is sort of part of the story. But what else needed to change as part of the process to make this successful?
Well, as Christian mentioned, at DM, we have always a very evolutionary view on using technology. And I think it's important that your employees are ready to use the technology and they're not afraid of using it. And I think you have to be very mindful to take them on the journey and just be careful that they are not afraid and that they're really getting happy to use it. And that's exactly what we achieved with the electronic shelf labels.
So Christian, to you, let's talk about the use cases. Let's make this real. What is it that really sort of brings this to life for folks?
Oh, I'm glad you asked, because actually we brought 2 use cases to show you.
Coincidence.
Yeah, what a coincidence. So let's dive right in. What you see here is the in-store picking process for our click and collect service, and you see the associate with a smartphone in her hand, so she sees the next product. And there you see the ESL flashing, so that makes it very efficient here. And in the background, we also know from the digital twin where exactly the product is. So before being close to the shelf, we also show kind of the location within the store. So this makes it very efficient. And of course, there's also a lot of things happening that you don't see here, the magic in the background. So there's mathematical optimization and AI for the optimal batch building and the best timing to start the process with the batch, and also the route optimization. Yeah, and the click and collect service or the local e-commerce and quick commerce is a big trend also in Germany, and we see that for DM, there's a 60% increase in sales and the number of pickings every year. And this is very huge, so we have to make this process as efficient as possible to get that done. So that's exciting. The second use case is one of the first where we combine ESL technology with the digital twin and also Ubica, because what you see here is the Ubica scan robot knows whether a shelf is empty or not. Then we check in the stock information whether there are products left in the back room. If so, obviously we give the associates a task to do replenishment. And then we also can give this information to the customers by changing the information that is shown on the ESLs. So when there's no item left in the back room, we give a red text. There, ich bin bald wieder verfügbar. That means I'll be right back. So the customer knows it will be available soon, and they don't have to talk to associate to ask for that. And in the other case, where there are products in the back room, we give a very small hint for the colleagues in the stores that they know that there are products, and if a customer asks, they will go to the back room and get the product. And this is only the very beginning of so much more to come. And this is also something we learned, that there are so many synergy use cases between those technologies, and that it's very interesting to have an integrated view on these technologies and also the use cases we can build.
So Jenny, looking ahead, the next couple of years, what are realistically the places where you can deploy AI effectively and get a return in stores?
Yeah, well, looking at the time, I could tell a lot
Yes.
what I think, but I will focus on one more thing.
Yes.
And it's, Andy mentioned it before, the rail technology is not only that you have your intelligent digital shelf now, and not only ESL, it's about that you can use the Bluetooth low energy technique to do localization of persons, people, just like employees or customers. And So for the first time in history, you don't need some extra hardware stuff. You can just use the ESL technology, the EdgeSense, and use the locationing feature. And I think this feature, in combination with the rest of the ecosystem, is, like Christian said, opens the door to a new world of use cases probably nobody thought about at the moment. They are just the first ideas. And I'm really eager to looking forward what we will invent together, especially with the strong partnership with Vusion, with Ubica. And I'm happy to tell what we invented in a few years again here on stage.
Fair enough.
So.
All right, well, Christian, I'll give you the quick moment to tell, no pun intended, in the wild, where there might be opportunities in the future that feel like the next gen killer app. Like, what don't we have now that we're gonna have that's gonna be amazing?
Yeah. I guess the localization feature is something that will be there available within the next 1 or 2 years, productive ready and in good quality. And that opens a lot of possibilities in 2 areas. When we look at this associates, it can bring the task level to the task management to the next level. So for now, it's very static, and we can evolve that to be very dynamic and flexible, and also dependent on the position of the associates. And that's, I think, a very big opportunity. And some of you also see that here, that we are able to locate not only the associates, but everyone with a smartphone. And that's the second field. When we're looking at our customers, it's the real chance to get a real omni-channel retailing within our stores set, because we know where the customer is. We know the customer because he probably has the DM app on his smartphone. And then we're able to interact with the customer, show them the way to a product he or she searches. We can give them coupons live. We can also collect data and get to know the customer better. Basically doing everything that we already do in the classical e-commerce since a lot of years. That is exciting.
Well, so we know what your customer wants to use it for in this case. Let's talk about what's next for EdgeSense. What else are you going to empower?
I think we are entering in the area of real AI native stores. And I think what EdgeSense brings here is it unblocks that physical stores really become as data rich as e-commerce has been already since many, many years. We have heard that already now a few times. For example, we can now sense what's happening in every aisle on a like people level, but also on a product level. We can predict issues before they actually arise and send store associates to fix problems or even react predictively to customer behavior. We can also dynamically guide store associates into aisles, and also we provide already a kind of intelligent infrastructure, which is a prerequisite for next generation tools like smart glasses, AI guided smart glasses, which we also show at our booth. So it's an invite, a call to action to come and see. And so when data like that becomes available in store, in back room, at the headquarter level, I think then AI stops being a concept, and it really becomes reality and starts to bring value for retailers.
Awesome. Well, to keep us all on time and keep you on your way to your next fun, what's sort of one takeaway, if you had to give a retailer a takeaway from this sort of experience that you've had that they should be thinking about as they take their journey, what would it be?
Well, I would say build your store vision, ignore technical constraints, just be brave, the technique will be solved. So go your way, do your journey, and yeah, you will be at the end there where you want to be.
Fair enough.
I have 2 things.
Yeah.
Because one secret of DM is the culture, you know? But that's something everyone can do. And I think the secret lies in to encourage people to take responsibility, to be kind of an entrepreneur within the company, and leading with, of course, a vision, but leaving as much room as possible for the people to bring in ideas, to be brave, to, make mistakes and to learn out of them. And that's really a secret, and that's a power horse that creates so many ideas, and you kind of have to pay attention that it's not too much, you know? And the second thing is to break down silos. We really learned that it's so important to work closely together with different disciplines. So this holds to tech and also the business side, but this also holds for external partners. And that's why we have these very strong partnerships also with Vusion, what makes it very special and gives us the opportunity to develop something that is huge.
Yeah, and from my side, I would say when you implement AI technologies in your store, start with real problems. Don't only implement AI for the sake of implementing a technology. I think iterate fast, so try fast, fail fast, learn fast, get feedback from store associates. And I think also what's important when you choose a new platform, really be mindful when you choose a partner. It's a long-term partnership. Implementing a new platform in your store is not a purchasing play. It's not only choosing a vendor, it's building a long-term partnership. And I think that's why this partnership also makes so much fun. And again, thank you very much for your trust. Thanks everyone for hosting us.
Absolutely.
It has been, I think the work we're doing is really meaningful, and I think we make the life in stores better every day. So that's a great purpose.
Excellent. Go forth, conquer, make your stores better. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you very much.